but I want to be pulled into this lawsuit. All of this garbage, okay? I am telling you, first off, read the article. You should go to Daily Mail. You should read the article, and then I'm going to debunk things that were said in that article because Taylor Swift is trying to pull out. This is what happens when the light comes, the cockroaches all run, but I'm not done. I want her subpoenaed because there's evidence here, like I said yesterday, that this was a very deranged A-list plot to just completely stage a hostile takeover of Justin Baldoni's movie and his sequel. And I'm telling you, this is, I hope it goes to court. It's not going to, but I have even more details that I can connect to Taylor Swift. Crazy. Something that got sent to me yesterday.
That is what Candace Owens has said on Instagram. And of course, we know that this is the entire basis for 5 different lawsuits that are going on. Blake Lively's suit in California with the state of California, hers in New York City that has to do with the same lawsuit, but federally. There's Justin Baldoni's $250 million lawsuit against the New York Times for conspiring with Blake Lively and her team without doing their verifying and corroboration of the facts before they published, which of course, he has every right because he had a $250 million contract with WME and their article forced his agency to drop him. And his lawsuit now against Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, which is for $400 million. But there's also Stephanie Jones, his prior publicist, who is suing him. So that's 5 lawsuits total. As I reported yesterday, the judge has set a preliminary actual trial start date, and that's supposed to be March 9th of 2026. Of course, that is up to the judge's discretion to be able to change that. I think Blake Lively will be canceled if this goes to trial because everything will come out. Colleen Hoover, Taylor Swift, Bradley Cooper, all these other smaller players are going to need to be subpoenaed. I think Candace Owens is absolutely correct. And I think it's very weird that Colleen Hoover would go and scrub and completely permanently delete her Instagram account. Why? Why is that? Is there private messages on her Instagram account she doesn't want people to see, or what? Why do that? She just created her own production company. Social media, especially Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, those are all great ways to be able to promote and advertise, especially when you're doing a production of one of your books or into a film, or just for one of your novels, trying to market it, advertise it, all of that. So why would you get rid of your Instagram? The timing's suspicious too. But I absolutely love this because she actually tags Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds and says, but this story isn't over. Ryan Reynolds will not get away with this. Hell yes. I love Candace Owens. I love her. You guys have to go to her website, and I know that there's some of it is behind a paywall. Some of it, she said, like her podcast episodes will be free for people too. So I don't know, but if you support her and you love her, definitely go and support her new website, because that is something she said her and her husband worked really hard on investing into, and she will be able to control without YouTube censorship what she's able to say, especially in her documentaries, her interviews, her own video, her own stuff. So I think that's really great. This is one person I definitely would support because she and her team work really hard to bring the truth and the facts of what's really happening, not what celebrities are trying to use the mainstream media to tell you is happening. But the fact is, she actually tagged Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, and it's hilarious. But back to Blake Lively's original publicity and interviews for the movie It Ends With Us. It went bad. It went bad because people like me, people like you, people that just have an account on YouTube or TikTok or Facebook or Instagram or any other social media website, we were seeing the articles being shared. Even in private messages, we got people that were like, oh, hey, did you read this article, and have it sent to you. We knew that Blake Lively something was going on here with this film. But this is where the whole Taylor Swift stuff comes in. Her and Blake Lively have been friends for years. She is the godmother to 3 out of 4 children that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds share together. That's a pretty serious friendship, that you are the actual godmother in the event that something happens to those children's parents. you will literally take custody of them and finish raising them. That's what that means. It's not just a term of endearment. It's literally meaning that you will be the godmother. Yeah. And being a godmother also means that you are active in those children's lives until they become adults and even past adulthood. And you are supposed to be a role model for them. You are supposed to help their emotional needs, their physical growth, their spiritual growth, their journey with God. You're supposed to be a nurturer and an enabler of that positive attributes and characteristics in children as they're growing. That's a part of being a godmother or a godfather as well, that responsibility. So I think that's huge that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds would make Taylor Swift the godmother of 3 of their children. And let's not forget how tone deaf Taylor Swift is to literally go in front of an entire award ceremony, the Grammy Awards in 2024, and pull Lana Del Rey, whose album is in the same category as yours and has Jack Antonoff, the same producer as you, and yet you win and she doesn't, to pull her on stage and then completely overlook Celine Dion right there. And you're going to go on to talk about how Lana Del Rey is hiding in the corner, and she is so amazing and legendary, and she's done all of these things for women and girls and music, and she's such an icon, while you have Celine Dion, literally a bilingual, multi-nation artist, her entire life right by you. That's the most tone deaf thing I have ever seen. But then to go on in the same award, to get a second one, and to go up there in front of all of your peers who are working on their own music and their own movies and their own projects, and announce your album. Like, the Grammy stage is your own personal mouthpiece and megaphone. That is not covert narcissism. That is blatant, very obvious narcissism. But Candace Owens is talking about the same article that I'm talking about. Taylor Swift taking a step back from Blake Lively as dramatic legal battle with Justin Baldoni threatens their decade-long friendship. Nothing can threaten a decade-long friendship than your disloyalty and your little, I'm going to save my own reputation and run. I think that Candace Owens is absolutely correct. She says she got word back from Taylor Swift's people, and they're telling her that this is 100% confirmed, that they're not friends anymore. So does that mean Taylor Swift is going to divorce being godmother of 3 of the children? And the reason why she's putting this out in her person, Tree, who helps do all of her publicity with all these mainstream media, whether it be on web page or print, magazine, what have you, radio, it says here, Taylor Swift is taking a step back from her friendship after feeling like she was used as an intimidation tactic by the actress in a lawsuit she never wanted to be embroiled in. Then you guys shouldn't be mean girls and bullies and try to literally do whatever you have to do to get your way and use your womanhood and your gender to be able to do that. And then in the same breath, Taylor Swift talks about fuck the patriarchy and shit in her music. Please, girl, please. Taylor Swift is heavily implicated in these lawsuits. And remember, there's 5 of them because she was present at a meeting with Ryan Reynolds over this film, It Ends With Us. She does an entire song. Her song, My Tears Ricochet, her song was used in the film. But it's when Lively later appeared to threaten Baldoni in the text messages in the lawsuits, comparing herself to Game of Thrones character Khaleesi in a series of text messages in which she refers to Ryan Reynolds and her best friend Taylor Swift as her, quote, dragons, unquote. This was reportedly the final straw for Taylor Swift, but it didn't stop her from inserting herself or going to the meetings of a movie. She's saying for the time being, she's taken a step back from her friendship with Blake Lively. But is she? Well, Daenerys Targaryen has lost one of her dragons. And that's pretty egotistical for Blake Lively to compare herself to Khaleesi, mother of dragons. Taylor has politely backed away from it all. She's conscious of her own image and hates that she was ever even mentioned.